Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another video. Guess who I picked up when we had the 10x 2x? Picked up Basim, guys, without even trying really. I opened a couple of shards, managed to get him. I'm going to try him on the main account, not on the test server. And I'm not maxing him out in terms of gear. I'm not going to use Ezio together with him, although he does have a cool synergy together with other assassins. So when an enemy's HP drops below health, he does more damage based on his attack, but it cannot crit. It does ignore defense though, so that's a cool mechanic to have. Gonna go through his kit, gonna show you him a little bit in PvP. Not so much a PvE champion, and give you guys my thoughts. But so far, I think he's an okay damage dealer, but nothing too crazy. Before that though, a quick word from today's sponsor. And a huge thank you to Moto Immortal for sponsoring today's video and the channel. If you want to check out the game, guys, there will be a pre-registration link down below, but also you can scan the image that you see above. So Moto Immortal is a strategic card collection RPG featuring a unique pantheon of both Eastern and Western deities presented in a dark and elegant art style. In this game, you not only collect the deity cards, build the tactical teams, but also you can delve into how those legendary powers can interact within the game, but also through the AI-driven gods and goddesses from the various mythologies. You'll be able to experience the diverse gameplay in Moto Immortal through mastering the strategic card collection, the auto progression, and the roguelike challenges featured throughout the game, and also experience the AI-driven interactions and conversations with the deities featured within the game with personalized divination and guidance. There's a ton of deities featured in this game, but especially Ares will be free and available to everybody completing the pre-registration campaign. Isis and Freya and many more will also be available, granting you power through the different modes within the game. What are you waiting for, guys? Scan the image above or check the link below to pre-register for Moto Immortal. You'll get, again, powerful hero Ares. There's a ton of milestone rewards as the pre-registration campaign is going, and there's also tons of rewards through their Discord, so check that out as well. So guys, Basim has basically 3 skills. He's dependent on Perfect Veil. If you do have Perfect Veil on him before he goes, he's so much better, I believe, since you'll be able to go through with your A2 skill. You'll ignore more defense, which basically amplifies the ability for him to do damage. Even though he has a low multiplier on this skill with a 4 multiplier, he still does good damage and can also block active skills, the enemies. And that can be extended to 3 turns if you have the right masteries. So it really depends on what you're looking for through utilizing this champion, whether as a support or a strict damage dealer. He also has a single target skill, which has a higher multiplier and gives him also Perfect Veil, but I would prefer to start with the A2, having Perfect Veil from another champion, and then go with the A3 to keep that Perfect Veil on Basim in order to basically keep him alive, because he is an attacker, attack-based, very difficult to keep alive, even though he's got a passive where he can steal a buff from the attacker and then transfer a debuff from himself to the attacker, and will ignore polymorph as well. So there's no fear for him to basically become polymorph through this skill. He also will ignore more resistance if he's got Veil or Perfect Veil. The problem with such types of damage dealers, guys, I'm going to show him in the arenas. Problem with such kinds of attackers is that you cannot basically build them with having just strict attack. Okay, so that's why I've built him on a more lower budget looking kind of build, looking at 5,000 attack, which is by no means high. It is an average though, in the sense of more players will be able to get this done rather than, let's say, 7,000 attack, especially without a blessing. Blessings are basically required nowadays if you're going to have anything that's competitive. But anyways, 283 crit damage, and then a little bit of accuracy for the block active skills, which we're aiming to apply on targets that don't have a lot of resistance. All right, but we're not trying to build in with a lot of accuracy. I have an accuracy banner for this one. Honestly, I should have used an attack banner and just gone without any accuracy at all, but you basically need a 5-star blessing for that, for if you're going to do that. So 300 accuracy basically was my goal, 230 speed. All right, And then I also gave him a wand of submission for him to be applying back reflection of stuns, sleep spheres, true fears, freezes, provokes, petrification, and sheeps. Basically, this is very strong against polymorphs, and it's a PvP type of relic. I'm not going to use any other relic in my eyes for him. You can use, because he does apply debuffs, you can use the Erethi Coronet for more damage. The lower end type of damage dealers can use other relics, like the forgot its name, the Malefic Talon. I mean, it's a basic damage dealing relic, but that's basically it. So let me show you guys on what he does. And honestly, I'm okay with this guy in terms of what he can do, and being a soul damage dealer with this kind of build, because he ignores defense. It can go through some enemies, not all of them, and I'll just show you guys some examples. So like for this one, right, we buff up, gonna lock them out, and this is a go first type of team. You'll be running this. So if you're running Ezio together with him, you're basically running 2 damage dealers. So you're gonna really have to build him strictly as a support. So how I built him is strictly as a damage dealer, but also you're gonna try and do the block active skills on enemies. So here there's the stone skin on him, so we won't block active skills him, unfortunately. But here with the burst, yeah, we're able to actually go through them. So that's pretty interesting. He'll transform, he'll use the A2 there. Wonder how much damage we'll take. So you saw Masterful Thief, that was our passive, the one with the buffs and debuffs. So here I'm gonna try and control that Wukong. That's basically it for them. I wonder if I'm able to burst him down with this skill, if we can steal his revive on death, because he's gonna reflect damage back on us, right? So I wonder. Yeah, we didn't steal it, but we still managed to take him out. Let's revive. Let's buff up. And just basically take them out, right? In terms of damage, you saw he's not an insane damage dealer, but because he's got an ignore defense mechanic, I mean, my Fabian does more damage. Because he's got an ignore defense mechanic, he's still pretty cool, right? So let me show you against maybe some beefy targets, such as these ones, like Mountain King. He's a force damage dealer, so that's cool too. If I had more of the assassins together, maybe I could have done like a different showcase, but I don't think his damage is going to be too big because he cannot crit. So here, let's do our A2. So here, under no stone skin targets, this is pretty interesting, right? So you do some sort of damage, then you block active skills the mythics, right? If they're still standing, and you're basically good to go there, right? Because they cannot metamorph now. You'll just use their A1s, right? And if they don't have an auto metamorph, they're basically just stuck there. So he's pretty cool in that sense. So this is basically me having Duchess as the champion that can give me perfect veil. But let's say I used another damage dealer here. I'm gonna try and find more difficult teams and see how we do there. So against this one, basically my real damage dealer is gonna be Empress. So here they've got block damage on them. Buff up. Gonna try at least to increase their cooldowns. Here, do they have any stone skins? If they did, I would try to remove them. But right now, they've got the block damage going on, so I'm just gonna transform and then just gonna do the A1 on somebody and wait them out and see if I can take them out, basically. So there it is. We're getting attacked on our Arbiter. Hopefully I'm able to get a turn. Can I take out his turn meter? No. Okay, so here I don't have perfect veil. I could use the A3, and that's gonna give me a perfect veil at the end of the turn though. All right. And that's gonna give me an extra turn. I can do the A2. So I can do the A3 first. Try and kill He-Man. There it is. and then do the A2. Block active skills them. That's very strong. And basically trying to kill the reviver here. So his role in this team is more of a support / damage dealer because of the block active skills. And because they don't have any resistance, the 300 is more than enough for what I'm trying to do here. So, ugh. Okay, that protected block damage is insane. Because I basically can't do anything against it. So I'm just waiting them out. Well, that is insane. All right, let's see. Ooh, there's a revive. He-Man, I hope he doesn't burst me down. Ooh, damage. All right. This one was much stronger. There's a big stone skin damage. And then buffing up. Should be able to take them out. And my Embrace is going to be the one that hopefully takes them out. All right. Do the health swap. There's the kill basically. So what happened here? I utilized Basim's block active skills basically together with his damage potential and also Embrace. So he wasn't the main damage dealer. I think that is also a way to go about building him with basically the stats that I have, but maybe 400 accuracy would be much better for that type of situation. So let's refresh a little bit and see if I can find some more beefy targets. Maybe this team, for example. Overall, my thoughts on this guy are good because he gains an additional ignore defense of 30%. When he does the A3 first, he gains the perfect veil in this sort of setup. And then you go and do the A2. So you don't start out with the A2. It's a different rotation, it's a different setup, but it still works in my eyes in order to make this worth it. So this sort of team, lots of ignore defense. Ideally here, I should have had Basim maybe faster, but let's see. Yeah, we didn't even need Basim there. The idea is to have maybe Basim go last so he can blow active skills, the remaining targets, or take out somebody who's just left standing. So he could be, in a sense, like the last man standing in that situation. Like if the enemies go, you're still under stone skin and you're able to survive a little bit more, and that's when you go about, you know, taking the remaining enemies out. So let's see the A2 here. Is Basim gonna go? So here I can do the A2. Basically, should take everybody out. Even without. Yeah, he completely ignored the damage because of that passive. So here, I should still be able to take him out. I don't think we're gonna have any issues here. There it is. So you see, Basim does like a good role of both being a support and a main damage dealer, although blessings play a huge role in order to make this champion. Should he be paired with another assassin? I mean, yeah, he's got another passive that helps him do more damage, basically take out a target. But I don't think this will do any significant amount of damage, especially since this cannot crit, although it does go through the target's defense. So that's it for Basim, guys. What are your thoughts? Do you have him? Do you use him with Ezio maybe, or some other assassin that you might have unlocked? Let me know down below. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.